Welcome to Holland State Park.
Holland State Park is located on the west coast of Michigan, right on Lake Michigan, and that is why people come here, because of the lake and the beach.
Really, the beach. This is probably one of the most expansive sandy white beaches in all of West Michigan, or Michigan in general, really, which is why it makes this park one of the busiest of all the state parks in Michigan, with almost 2 million annual visitors.
We didn't get here until late in the season. It's early October at this point, and so it's a little bit past beach weather, but you can tell just from the size of the parking lot and the way this place is laid out how busy it gets on a hot summer day.
Yeah, it gets full about 11 o'clock, if not before, and people are lined up for hours down the road coming in because it's just a one-way in and out situation to get to this park. And so they say that you can sit in line for almost 45 minutes sometimes waiting for somebody to leave the park so that you can get into the park.
It is located west of the city of Holland, which is a great little town to do some shopping and spend some time there. This is one of those state parks that's divided, though. So we're in the day use area right now by the beach, and there's a lot of stuff to do here with the beach. And then there are 2 campgrounds and another day use area, but everything is kind of in segments.
It is in segments, and that's because Holland State Park is located sort of on or between both Lake Michigan and Lake Macatawa, which is in the middle of the city of Holland. And so the channel from Lake Macatawa connects out to Lake Michigan. So if you're a boater, you can put in Lake Macatawa and then head out onto Lake Michigan. But that means there is the Lake Michigan beach, which is the wide sandy beach, and then there's a smaller swimming beach on Lake Macatawa. It's nice having 2 swimming areas, one on Lake Macatawa and one on Lake Michigan, because the campgrounds are separated. So there's the regular modern woodsy type campground, and that's directly across from the Lake Macatawa beach, and then there's the campground that's kind of right on the beach, or well, in the parking lot of the beach, actually.
Yeah, the beach campground is literally a parking lot. Now, they have 50 amp service in a lot of the spots. They actually have full hookups.
Full hookup, yeah.
Full hookup with water, sewer, and electric. But you are pretty much parking in a parking lot and calling it camping. But you do have direct access to the beach.
Yeah, it's the proximity that would bring people to this side. And because it is completely paved, this is more of a RV style campground. I mean, you can put a tent here, but you'd be tenting on pavement, which I don't think would be very comfortable. And they do expect that this is mostly for RVs or trailers of that nature.
The Lake Macatawa campground is much more of your traditional state park campground. There's a variety of sizes in terms of the sites. Some are more wooded. Some are actually pretty wooded, where backing your trailer in is going to be a little tricky into the trees, but then the site kind of opens up once you're through the trees. So they're kind of pretty in there. There are a variety of sites that have 30 amps, some have 50 amps. So it's kind of a mix in there, but that's more of your traditional style of camping on that side.
I felt that those were some really nice sites if you have good family group outings. We noticed a lot of people had sort of put their trailers in and then all combine their picnic tables and their chairs and so their bonfires, so that it'd be a really good place to bring a family or a group of families or group of friends for a long weekend or a week.
There are 2 loops at that campground, and I noticed one of them is more sort of separated spots or a little more secluded, and then the other side's a little more of the open style. So depending on what you're looking for, if you can get it, this is one of those parks where if you want a campsite, you're going to have to book it pretty early because it is busy all summer long.
And not only is it busy in the summer, but they have one of the fall festival weekends here, and we happen to arrive on that weekend. And so even in October, that campground is completely full this weekend. But it's great because they've got a costume contest, trick-or-treating, pumpkin decorating, and all sorts of fun activities for the kids. And the campers go all out when it comes to the decorations. So it's just fun to walk through the campground and see how creative people get with their Halloween decorations.
And one nice thing about this park, even though it's all in segments, there is a really nice bike trail that connects it all. So you have a bike trail that goes from the beach and the beach campground all the way over to the other campground and to the day use area. And it actually connects to a local trail system that you can ride all the way into Holland.
Yeah, it's a partnership, I think, between the city and the state and everybody, so that it has connected. And I think you can go all the way to Zealand, I think, on it. It was a long trail when you find all the different, it's like 25 miles of connecting bike path. And I think that's really cool.
Well, it's large enough. They have a sign up that says you can follow your route on Google Maps. So it's on Google Maps, so it's got to be pretty good distance.
At the main beach part of Holland State Park, you've got the beach, you've got a really nice playground for the kids, a concession area with a camp store, amenities, bathrooms, changing stalls. But the big feature of why people come here in addition to the beach is to check out Big Red, the historical lighthouse that sits right across from the state park. The lighthouse sits at the entrance to the channel, and it's actually been replaced a number of times from the original lighthouse that used to sit there till now. As we find, obviously, technology changes, so they had to, get with the times at some point. But this has pretty much been the same since, I want to say, the early 1900s. And the city of Holland was named because the settlers here were from Holland, like the Netherlands, Holland. And so it's a huge Dutch history in this area. And the original settlers were actually responsible for helping dig out the channel, and the city of Holland gave this land to the state in 1926 to become a state park. So it's been here for a pretty long time.
It is one of the earlier state parks, and people just really love this place, right? The whole concept of it and the beach that's here in Big Red. At one point, after it was automated and many years later, the Coast Guard actually was going to abandon the lighthouse, and locals got together and said, nope, we need to keep this thing going. And so they created a group that was able to preserve it and restore it, and that's why we still have it. So that's really cool to have that piece of history here too.
Yeah. It's probably one of the most photographed lighthouses. Because Holland State Park is one of the busiest and most popular, a couple things to keep in mind. One, get your reservations in early if you want to stay here, both at either campground, but also just get here early on any given weekend in the summer because it's going to fill up fast.
It is really popular, and for a good reason. So if you get a chance to check it out, come on over to Holland and see this state park. Keep on trekking.
And we'll see you out there.